Hello learners, today's lecture is on Unit 1 Logistics and Supply Chain Management and Introduction. This unit is for the program of MBA Logistics and Supply Chain Management, third semester students, and as well as for the MBA in Operations Management. So the learners, now we are going to learn about the logistics and supply chain management. First of all, there is a great deal of material that is moved in any company. Organization collects raw materials from suppliers and delivers finished goods to the customers. It is logistics that executes this function. Logistics is the function that moves both tangible materials, intangible materials through the operations to the customer as a finished goods. So the learners, what happens in the logistics management system, the materials in any industry, if you see if it is a manufacturing industry or it is a service industry, in the manufacturing you can say that it may be a watch manufacturing industry, computer manufacturing industry or car manufacturing industry. Any manufacturing industry, it is having different operations in the industry, as well as in the industry there are different operations in the manufacturing industry. Apart from that, when we consider the logistics and supply chain management, we have to consider outside the organization, from left side to the organization and right side to the organization. Means in the left side, the suppliers, there are number of suppliers are involved. So in the supply chain management, suppliers, manufacturers, warehouse keepers, as well as the retailers and as well as the ultimate customers. So this is known as a supply chain, total supply chain for a particular product. There are different supply chains will be there. So depending upon the product manufacturing. So for that, the logistics plays vital role in moving the materials from the suppliers to the manufacturer. In the manufacturing itself, there from different operations to operations, and from there, once the finished goods is completed, and it has to move to the warehouse, and from there it has to move to the retailers, and from there to the ultimate customers. So that is the supply chain. In the total supply chain, logistics plays vital role in providing the raw materials, finished goods to raw materials to the manufacturers and finished goods to the customers. So this is the logistics and supply chain management. A supply chain consists of a series of activities involving many organizations through which the materials move from material suppliers to the end customers. There may be different supply chains for each product. The chain of activities is named differently as per the situation. Means just now I told you about the different. Suppose if only we are procuring raw materials from the suppliers. So that is one supply chain from the suppliers to the manufacturers. Like that. So if the raw materials are procured from different suppliers, so that will become different supply chain. So for a particular product, so if a particular product is manufactured, it has so many components, it has so many different types of raw materials, components, as well as parts. So all these things has to be procured from the suppliers. So that is suppliers also the one player of this supply chain management. Logistics and supply chain management. A supply chain may be considered as a group of organizations connected by a series of trading relationships. This group covers logistics and manufacturing activities from the raw materials to the final consumers. Each organization in the chain procures and then transforms materials in final products and distribute these to the customers. So in the supply chain process, what happens? The transformation takes place. Transformation of raw materials into finished goods. So that is the on how it has to be effectively managed. That is the that is known as a logistics and supply chain management. Moving the materials as well as getting the information from the customers, and it has to be the information also plays in the very important role in the supply chain management. So the materials moves from the left side to the right side, from suppliers to the customers, but the information moves from the customers to the suppliers. So that is the that information flow should be effective. Then only one can able to provide the required materials to the customers. So that is and effective when they want, where they want, how much they want, and how much quality they want. So all these things has to be managed effectively by managing the total supply chain effectively. So where the information plays vital role. The concept of logistics is based on the system approach. The flow of materials from a supplier to a manufacturing plant and finally to the end customer is used as a single chain, ensuring efficiency and effectiveness in sequential activities to achieve the objectives of the customer satisfaction as a reduced cost. Logistics recognizes that all the activities of materials movement across business processes are interdependent and need close coordination. So what it means, there is a need of close coordination between the players, means between the activities. Different activities are different players. Here we can say that players means suppliers, manufacturers, warehouse locations, as well as the customers, or even retailers also involved in this supply chain. There the coordination is very much required to reduce the cost and improve the efficiency and minimizing the wastages. So that is by coordination what happens, close coordination, we are reducing the cost and giving the materials with a less cost to the customers. Because if we don't coordination, there is a coordination is not there, so then what happens, the cost may be increased, wastage will be increased, and the inventory will be increased. So there are different aspects. So that has everything. By coordination, these costs will be reduced and quality will be improved. That is the importance of a coordination between the players in the supply chain. The functional areas of logistics management are information flow. So this in the information, what way the information flows? So information flow is in the form of order registration, means order comes from the customers. The order registration and order checking and editing. So what does it mean? Order checking and editing means, so is according to the customer has placed an order for a particular, suppose 50 finished products. If they want 50 cars or 50 watches or 50 computers or 50 mobiles, so if they according to that manufacturing industry, they have to see is it possible, and the date and time, all these things will come in the information. So that according to their industry norms, are they are able to produce and provide the finished goods to the customer in time according to their order, or is there any lacuna in the industry? That is known as editing. If they have the capacity of producing only 40 quantity of computers, then they will edit it, and we can able to give the only 40, so that we will deliver the 40 computers as per your order. So like that, the information has to be edited. Then order processing. Once it is accepted by the customers, then order processing and coordination will be taken place. That is in the information flow. Then warehousing. In the warehousing, material storage, load utilization and material handling, site selection and network planning, order picking and filling, dispatch documentation. These are all the processes in the warehousing warehousing system. So once a order comes, if it in the warehouse if we have 25 components or 25 computers, then immediately we can supply those 25. Remaining 15 computers, the process will start, manufacturing will start. So that is the warehousing function. Then comes to inventory control. In the inventory control, material requirement planning, inventory level decisions for customer service objectives. So how much inventory is available, how much we have to produce. So according to that inventory, how much we can supply to the customers. So that is the inventory management. Then comes to packaging, for handling and damage prevention, for communication, for intermodal transportation. So packaging also plays vital role. It's because the packaging should be very good, and quality packaging is required, so that the damages can be prevented. So that is the importance of a packaging. Then transportation. In the transportation process, route planning, mode of selection, vehicle scheduling, all this information has to be given to the customers. So in what way we are the route. Suppose we are sending the materials from Delhi to Hyderabad. So which way will be better to send the materials, so that the materials can reach the customers in time. Set the route planning. Then mode of selection, if it is by air or by train or by bus, like that, by trucks. So like that, the mode selection also takes place in this logistics function. Then vehicle scheduling. So nowadays you can see that if you place an order online, so how much by what time you will receive your material, that also they will send. If any delay occurs, that information also they are sending presently. So the information technology is in growing, so that the communication also effective. So that is the functional area of a logistics management. Then functional areas of logistics management. The objective of logistics is to facilitate the flow of materials across the supply chain of an enterprises, so as to cost effectively make available the right product at the right place at the right time. So the cost effectiveness also be one objective of this logistics and supply chain management. So in the material has to be provided to the customers at the right product at the right place at the right time, and with the minimal cost. The most important goal of logistics management is to achieve least cost also. Least cost and high customer satisfaction. This is possible only when all the logistic functions are working as a unified integrated system to achieve the common goal. So in the logistics management, what happened? Main objectives are improve the delivery system and reducing the cost. So that is the most important function of a logistics management. Then comes to customer value chain. In recent years, during this IT era, the following three forces have changed the perspective on logistics, which are globalization, focus on supply chain management, and outsourcing of non-core competency functional areas. These three forces have changed the total perspective of logistics and supply chain management. What is globalization? Globalization, the entire world has become a global village for the marketers because of the liberalization economies of countries and the emergence of World Trade Organization, which is forcing the business organization to supply products beyond the national boundaries wherever there is a market opportunity. In such a situation, the role of logistics will include providing the time and place utility of the products to the customers. So globalization, because of globalization, the free trade liberalization of economies, the globalization has increased. So because wherever suppose an industry it is producing computers, earlier what happens, they used to sell in their country only. their state only, like that. But because of globalization and free liberalization of economies in the different countries, so we produce in India and we are exporting our products easily. So because of that, the competition has raised more. So in the competitive environment, one has to be in the competition. So one has to improve their supply chain efficiency. And mainly the customer satisfaction is very much important. Once the customer places an order, it may be from the foreign, it may be from in Indian states, like that. So according to their needs, the manufacturer has to provide the goods to the customers. One minute. Okay. Slideshow. Okay. Globalization. In the globalization, what we say that because of globalization, we are sending the materials, producing in one country and exporting to the other country because of this liberalization of economies. Then comes to focus on supply chain management. So the business across the world are striving to be competitive. Business organizations are struggling not only for growth but also for survival in the process. The focus has changed to the supply chain, that is integrating a process of procurement, processing and distribution with the Okay, thank you. The focus on supply chain management, business across the world are striving to be competitive. Business organizations are struggling not only for growth but also for survival. In the process, the focus has changed to the supply chain, that is integrating a process of procurement, processing and distribution with one thread to deliver the value to the customer. Logistics plays a key role in the value delivery process, and the success of supply chain management greatly depends on the logistics planning and its supports. So because of globalization, the value of the industries has to create the value by business with the competition. So because of competition, so every industry has to give their best to the customers in terms of function of that product, in terms of look of that products. So some people buy their tastes are different. So depending upon their best functions or updated functions. Suppose in the mobile, the updated functions are coming they are producing they are developing a good products within less time. So the competition has increased. So that is the focus, that is known as a focus on supply chain management. Then outsourcing of non-core competency functional areas. Outsourcing is becoming an acceptable trend in business. Corporations have realized that doing everything by themselves does not result in effective and efficient use of scarce resources available to them. It is better to outsource the functional areas to an expert who can do the job at the least cost and can bring effectiveness and efficiency to the operations. Logistics is an area in which a majority of the business organizations have no core competency, and hence it needs to be outsourced. Logistics is shaped into a separate service industry offering complete customized logistics solution specific to products, shipments and customers and markets. So what happened? What is the outsourcing? So if the manufacturer are producing the products, they are the experts of producing the products, but they are not the experts of logistics, or they are not the experts of the transportation or storing. So for example, nowadays Amazon, Flipkart, we can say that Safe Express, different logistics companies have come. So what they are service industries only. They are not even producing any material. So Amazon, they are not producing any material, but they are having effective logistics management. They are the efficient logistics managers, so that they have the network with all the industries. Any industry, the Amazon is having links, their supply chain. So their logistics operations, they are providing their logistics services to the different manufacturers. That is known as the outsourcing of services. So that is known as the outsourcing. Means their competency we are getting, their services the industry is getting to improve their efficiency, as well as the logistics efficiency can be improved. So that is known as a outsourcing of non-core competency functional areas. If it is, suppose in our IGNOU, our competency is education, providing education to the students and producing the materials, the self-learning materials. That is our core competency. So that we only produce the materials effectively. So that is our core competency. So success value chain. Through competitive success, business organizations to understand the competitive success could only come through cost leadership or offering differentiated product and services. Cost can be reduced by an effective logistics management, which will also enhance the differentiation through the superior customer service. The value chain activities of a firm can be categorized into primary activities consisting of inbound logistics, operations, and outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and then supportive activities such as infrastructure, HRM, technology development and procurement. So any industry, it should be in competitive success. They should achieve the primary activities consisting inbound logistics as well as outbound logistics. Then in the support activities such as infrastructure is very much essential. Infrastructure and HRM, human resource management, should be effective, and technology development and procurement. These are the supportive activities. Then the customer value chain consists of three phases of logistics. The phase 1, inbound logistics, operations preceding the manufacturing. This includes movement of raw materials and components for the processing from the suppliers. So that is inbound logistics, means we are procuring the materials from the suppliers, and suppliers are sending the raw materials, parts and components to the manufacturer. That is known as a inbound logistics. Then internal logistics, that is in the manufacturing itself, in the manufacturing process in an industry, there different operations are there. So we can say that pressing operation, then machining operation, then to polishing, then gold plating, or then assembly. So different operations will be there. So from the internal, so material, once it is press shop operation is completed, then it has to go to machine shop. So there the logistics or transportation of those parts to the other shop. So that is known as internal logistics. It means moving the materials in the industry itself. That is known as internal logistics. Operations directly related to manufacturing processes. This includes storage, movement of raw materials and components within the manufacturing premises for the manufacturing schedules. The inventory management of stored materials and in-process goods is part of process logistics. The third phase, that is phase 3, that is outbound logistics. What is outbound logistics? Operations following the production processes This includes the warehousing, transportation and inventory management of finished products. In all the above categories of logistics, both physical flows of products from the raw material supplier to the end customer in the forward direction and flow of information from market to the raw material suppliers in the reverse direction are monitored and controlled. So, what is outbound logistics? In the outbound logistics, what happened? The finished goods will be sent to the warehouse or store, and from there it will be dispatched to the retailers. From there it goes to the ultimate customers. So that is known as a outbound logistics. Outbound means from the manufacturing finished goods to the ultimate customers. So in all the operations, what in the supply chain, what is happening? The materials are moving from the supplier to the end customers in the left to the right in the forward direction, but the information flows from the market or customer to the suppliers, so in the reverse direction. So this one has to remember, the information flows from the customer to the suppliers, and then materials will move from the suppliers to the customers. So the distribution of logistics cost. So why the logistic cost? The one has to know about the how much logistics cost are involved in the process of supply chain management. So inbound logistics, how much cost? That is, in the inbound logistics, transportation cost is 12% and storage cost is 8.0% and inventory cost is 8.0%. So here you can say that in the inbound logistics, the transportation cost is more. So how to reduce those costs so that ultimate product cost can be reduced and the ultimate customers will be satisfied. So that so this analysis is because where the more cost is involved. So then in the internal logistics cost, the transportation and storage. So transportation cost is 2 point. Here in the internal, there is transportation cost is very less, and then storage cost is 5.0. And then comes to outbound logistics, the transportation is 33.0% and storage is 15.5%, inventory is 6.5% and order processing is 10.0%. So by seeing this table, what you understand? Mainly the transportation cost is very high. So how to reduce those transportation costs, one has to see, so that the efficiency of the supply chain can be improved and the cost of a product can be reduced. Logistics cost breakup in the above three categories shows a larger percentage in outbound logistics, and component wise transportation covers the larger proportion. By observing the above table, the transportation cost should be minimized to reduce the cost of products. With proper system and controls, the logistical cost can be reduced and the benefits can be passed on to the customer by way of value addition through a combination of price, quality and services. Then logistics functions, which are order processing, inventory control, warehousing, transportation, material handling and storage, logistics, packaging and information. Order checking for any deviations in agreed upon or negotiated terms, prices, payment and delivery terms, checking the availability of materials in stocks, production and material scheduling for shortages, acknowledging the order, indicating deviations if any. So with this learners, we have learned about the 1 minute. We have learned about what is the logistics management and what is logistics and supply chain management, and how it has to be, logistics efficiency has to be improved, how to reduce the logistics cost, and what way we can improve the supply chain efficiency. So with this I conclude here. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any doubt, you can send on email. Thank you.